Hello fellow beaders, it's JP and I've got the tutorial for you. So I posted this component on Facebook and I asked if you preferred a pair of earrings or the bracelet. Some people said both, some said a bracelet, some said earrings. So I'm just gonna do both. That way you can make whichever one you prefer, or you can make both. This week, I'm going to show you how to make the earrings, and then next week, I will show you how to make the bracelet that goes with it. For each, let me go over what you need in terms of materials. You're going to need tomatoes, and these are from Aura Crystals, and there's Aura Crystals. Miyuki round seed bead, 8/0 galvanized silver. And so those are the 8s. The 11s are the same color and also from Aura Crystals. And so that's the other seed bead you'll need. These are also Miyuki 11s, galvanized silver, and Aura Crystals. So that's the first 2 set of beads. You're gonna need a 4mm bead. I'm using a bicone. You're gonna need 5 per earring, so 10 total to make the pair. So there's 5 there, there's 4 over here and 1 there. And then of course the other 5, so 10 total. You can use whatever 4mm bead you want. You do not need to use a bicone. Got rounds, fire polish are your other choices. So you can definitely switch them out. These were purchased from crystalsandbeadsforfriends.com, and the color is Blue Luster. crystalsandbeadsforfriends.com, that is the name of the website. And the color again is Blue Luster. And then you're going to need 24 superduos to make the pair, so 12 per earring. And the superduos are called April Showers. It's kind of worn away there, but that is the name of the mix. And they are from Potomac Beads. So if you want to get this exact mix, that is where I purchased it. In addition, 6-pound fireline, 8-pound will also work, 4-pound will work too. I'm using 6-pound, and I've got a beading needle here. Mine's a size 11, but you can pretty much use any size because it'll go through the seed beads. Shouldn't be a problem. And of course, a couple of ear wires. And that is it. So let's get started. So you'll make the earrings this week. Next week, we'll do the bracelet. Okay, to start off, our component is you're going to start with a superduo, then an 8, superduo 8, superduo 8, superduo 8. So basically 4 of each. So 4 8/0s and 4 superduos. And of course, we're going to tie a knot to make a circle. And I am just doing your basic, or no, square knot. Is that what they call it? And that is what you should get. So just like that, that's what it should look like. And then you're going to go back through all the beads again to secure all of them and make them a little bit tighter. And so I would just go through several at a time here. And I'm going to go ahead and go through a few more. Usually I can do about 3 at a time, depending, or 2 in this case. Okay, let's keep going. I've gone all the way around. And let me just move my little mat up. And now what I want to do is actually come out of a superduo, just like this. So, and I'm actually not going to switch into the other hole of the superduo. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick up a superduo and then an 11 and then another superduo. And I'm going to go into the next superduo here. So I'm still staying in the same hole. I'm not switching over yet to the second hole of the superduo. And they're gonna fit right in between the two super duos, and they're gonna pop up a little bit, which is what we want. We want them to do kind of stick up. So, and again, go ahead and pick up a super duo, 11, and another super duo, and then just go into the next super duo. So we are just going to do this 2 more times, so a total of 4 times, like so, and repeat. Okay, last one, super duo, 11 and super duo, and I'm coming out, going through the super duo here, and I'm going to step up and go into the super duo next to it. So we're going to step up into the next round, just like so. Okay, so I added on my last little unit here. I've gone through and I've stepped up into the next round here. Now I'm actually going to turn the work because it's easier on my wrist, and then I'm going to switch to the other hole of this same super duo and then continue to this next super duo. Now, one of the things to note is the super duo here is a little bit lower than the 2 on either side of it. And that's because this is from the first round, and then these were the ones we added in the next round after that. So this is how you want it to look. Now what I'm going to do is pick up an 11, an 8, and an 11, and I'm just going to go around just that super duo. And I want it to look just like that. And then I'm going to go into the next super duo next to it. Okay, now for this set, I'm going to add a bicone. So I'm going to grab my 4mm bicone, and I'm going to go ahead and go into the super duo on the other side. So there should be an 11 in between these super duos. And that's what you should have. Now we're going to go down towards the one that's a little bit lower here, the super duo. And you're going to do what we just did, is you're going to add the seed beads now. And again, you're going to do 11, 8, 11. Go around just that central super duo, just that one. And then into the next super duo. And so you're just alternating all the way around between the seed beads and the bicone. And again, a 4mm bicone. Go into the next super duo there. And then I'm going to continue into the lower super duo. Pick up an 11, an 8, and the 11. Go around just that super duo. And then go into that next super duo. So continue. And as you tug, you'll notice that these are going to start popping up, and that is what you want. That is part of the design. And again, I'm picking up another bicone. And then going into that lower middle super duo there. And again, it's going to be 11, 8, and an 11. go around just the superduo. And then through the next superduo, and we're going to add that last bicone. And I'm going through that superduo there. Whoops, grabbed the other earring there, got caught. Okay, so here's what you should have at this point. Here's how it should look. Now, we're going to go all the way around and we are going to reinforce everything, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. So one of the things I want to do is make sure the seed beads, I'm going to make sure the 11s are popping up there, like so. And so you should see these little 11s in all of in the units. And then what you're going to do is the superduos are not connected to the seed beads we added. So we're going to go around and we're actually going to connect all of that together. So I'm coming out of the superduo. So I'm going to go ahead and go up into the 11, then the 8 and the 11, and then the superduo. Then through the bicone and the superduo next to it. And then you can continue following the path basically. And if you can get into the seed bead, go ahead. If not, we'll go get it next time. So I went ahead and got through that 11. And then the 8 and the 11 and the superduo. And again, bicone and superduo. So we're not adding beads here. I'm just making sure that the seed beads are now connected to the superduos. So go ahead and go into the 11. And this helps them sit. So part of the reason to do this is it connects them, but it also kind of helps them sit and they won't move so much. Okay, now it's the bicone's turn, and I believe we've gone all the way around, but bicone and my superduo, if I can just get them to line up. There we go. And now I'm going to go through the 11. And 8, 11, superduo. And of course, my bicone. Okay, so here's where we're at. Now I will show you how to, this is essentially the component we'll be making. So this is the component for the bracelet and also for the earring. And now I will show you how to finish off the earring. Okay, so to make the earring part, so we are going to be, I'm going to show you how to do this part up here. And you can change the length of this to whatever you want. So what I've done is done 8 seed beads here. So you're going to pick up 8 11s, then the bicone, and then 4 11s. And you want to bring those all down to the bottom of your thread. And you also want to make sure you're exiting a bicone. So when you finish tightening your rounds, make sure you're coming out of a bicone. Then pick up 8 11s, a bicone, and then 4 11s. Just like this. Now, here's the trick that I like to do with this, is I actually will now just work with these 4 seed beads here, and I'm going to go back through just that first 11. And you want to hold this down so that you don't have any slack in the thread, like I'm doing here. So you want to make sure there's no slack there. I'm just going to flip this so I can work with my left hand a little bit easily. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make that diamond pattern, and in order to do that, now you're going to pick up an 11 and go into the next 11. Pick up an 11 and go into the next 11. And one more time, pick up an 11, and I'm just going to rotate this a little bit here. You're going to go into the next 11, which is right on top of that bicone. Okay, now there's that diamond pattern. So see how that works? Now we're just going to go back through all the beads again, and just those seed beads, and then we'll come down out of the bicone and add in the other set of seed beads. But first, let's reinforce. And I usually do this you've seen me do this about a million times, I'm sure. I do 2 beads at a time because I'm taking on that corners. And then these 2. Okay, now I want to just go into this one seed bead and then down into the bicone. Like that. And now pick up the 8 11s. So here we go. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And just go into the bicone right over there. All my stuff is moved, and there we are. So now this is loose, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just go ahead and tie some knots. You can also go back through and reinforce. I'm not going to do that on camera. I think you get the gist of it, of how to do a reinforcement. But basically you would follow the path all the way around and then go back up and through and back down. But now to tie off, you can tie off pretty much just about anywhere. Once you've reinforced, you can go through the super duos and the 11. I like to use the super duos or the 11s, or the 8s rather, to do a couple of 1/2 inch knots. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through super duo, there we go, and the 11. And then tie a 1/2 inch knot there between the 11 and the 8. And then I can pull that knot into the 8 and it's tucked away. And then I can go through the 8, the 11, and the super duo. And I could tie a knot between the super duo and the bicone. Go through the bicone and the super duo. Let's see, okay. And then go through the 11 and we can tie one more knot between the 11 and the 8. Whoops, there we go. And I'm just gonna go through a few of these beads and then trim the thread. Grab my thread zap. I've got my little ear hook, ear wire. And here we go. There they are. So they make up pretty quick and easy. And the components pretty straightforward to make. Superduos, bicones, 8s and 11s. You just need 4 bead types to do this. And hopefully you have all of those in your stash. Okay, if you do end up making these, please feel free to join the Facebook group. It's called JRPDesigns Crafters, and post some pictures. As always, I love to see what colors you use when you make something, when you make one of my tutorials. Okay, so next week I will show you how to make the bracelet to this component.